is that even possible? Because I'm interpolating. In a bunch of places, there's not even data. So if you look at that corner, my interpolation scheme is getting lost. So if that's the case, we're fine. Okay. So why don't we try to get water depths? So the next thing you're going to be using a lot here is raster calculator. Remember that? You guys remember that? Yeah. Okay. So it's going to be one of those. One. And I always call it one because if I make a mistake or something, you know, we can backtrack. I'm going to try to clean up my thing now, and I'm going to do a conditional analysis. I'm going to say if my water depth is, so we don't like negatives, so if it's less or equal to so I'm running a conditional analysis here, and then I'm saying go over my raster, and if the number or the value of the pixel it's lower than 0, which is a negative depth, which we don't like it, I'm going to make it 0. All right. So I'm blacked out here, which is dry. So let's see if I can display this in a way that's. I'm going to make zeros as no color. Let's make something that's a little more watery. Press the thing. Okay. So I don't want to see that. Okay, so now, let's say we want to look at this spot here. Now you can start to see your flood water depth over your DEM. Now I'm going to try, because we're out of time, to put an image here. If it works, right, let's see. Okay. Means you all can do that in the lab. So there's all kinds of post-processing that you can be thinking about. I just did a quick and dirty analysis here in order to get us flood depths on top of an image now. So that's your project, right? That's your region. That's your thing here. Just did the project in 2 classes, so you know. Yeah.
So in your max elevation, the dry node has a negative 999 value or something?
I think I did that on purpose, didn't I?
So
Let's see.
when you interpolate, just
Well, that's a good question. Let's see.
how is it?
I don't. And the reason for that is, if I go here into report result, can I edit? Yes, I can. So if you want to play with this, here's the code. Here's what's doing. And there's an if here that says, if 9999, which is classified as dry, I'm making it 0. So here's the catch for you. So there's no 999 because we already had that kind of problem. So you're welcome to put this back if you want to have the 999s there. You just change here, you save it. Next time you run it, it will use this script. So you can change as much as you want here. Everything is here. So the entire thing, it's all here. If you want to change what it tells you when you start to run, you know, here's arcby add message, start working. You want to say, hi Juan, I think you're great. You know, it will tell you that when it starts to run. So you're welcome to do all kinds of things you guys want to do. So it's all there. Now with interpolation and things like that, although that's a great question because there's all kinds of things that can go wrong, will go wrong, that you should think about. That's why I said I did a quick and dirty. I'm using like a super big DM. I'm not really concerned about my boundaries. I'm just letting it explode around, and I'm just running it so you guys get a sense of the methodology. I highly encourage you guys to repeat this and think about it, and do it more like careful and look at things and say, what's going on here? You know, how come I have this pond here? That's an artifact. It shouldn't be there. You know, it's because I'm using this huge DM, and then, you know, I'm doing this flood depth quick and dirty thing. Things should be connected. So you want to, you know, be careful with that. Now we have some lakes here. Remember, they start dry in the 413. You could have used I start dry if you want it, or I start wet in your 413. You could have used ArcGIS to update those if you cared about this stuff. So, all kinds of things. But let's say you did trust your analysis. Here are the people that are underwater, and let's put some transparency. Let's try 50%. So now we can see it underneath. And if I ask, I can get a sense of water depth of 1 meter. So that house, it's at a 1 meter water depth. So if you're using the damage metric, you could then run that curve here and not only get a 1 meter depth, but get percent damage in this house. And if you download the house's geodatabase, it will tell you the estimated property value of a census tract, not the house, but it will tell you the property value. Therefore, you're talking about dollar damages now as a metric instead of 1.2. Who knows that there's someone there or not? That's when GIS starts to bring you some powerful analysis. You might get 2 meters more surge in a park that is fine, the park is there for that, therefore, you know, we're not really unhappy with that storm surge. Now if it's here, you know, there's a lot of unhappy people here with this storm surge. So, you know, it gives this geospatial perspective. More questions?
Can we get like a graph of flood elevation at the cross section?
Yes.
So cross section and get graph of flood elevation.
Yes, you can cut cross sections, and in your cross sections you could have, for example, your profile and your flood levels.
GIS?
Yeah, I don't see why not. I need to think about what's the right way to cut a plot here. But we do it with GeoHMS all the time. UHMS has a tool, Arc Hydro has a tool that lets you put a line and get a, do I have Arc Hydro here? I don't think I have Arc Hydro here. If you install Arc Hydro, you can, there's a thing that comes with it, that you just click and boom, you get a cross section. So yes, you can certainly do that. What else? So I think we covered the basics. That as far as I wanted to show you the functionality. Now from here to where you're gonna go, the sky's the limit then. You know, I wanted you to be able and competent to go from one to the other. And then what you do here, it's like, there's so many things that people do with ArcGIS that, you know, a class is not enough to. At a minimum, you should be able to get depth grades and water levels and things like that. If you don't want to get an EM, you could have done that based on your mesh, because your mesh had topography and bathymetry already. So you could just have done that directly. The DEM adds an extra layer. This could have been a LiDAR, but then we're creating this at like a meter resolution. And you could have had much, because you can also see what your mesh looks like here. Come on, load your mesh. Not sure why not. Oh, it's coming out. That's great. That's a great viewpoint here. Let me make this perhaps black. That's our resolution. That's a very good reality check here. That's the resolution. That's where you have information. Each point is where you're saving the shallow water equations. And you're trying to tell Ryan that his house here is getting flooded based on like 6 nodes or 7 nodes are down here. So, kind of tough job here. On the other hand, you guys are running this mesh fairly quickly. And SMS, it's capable of, you know, loading and doing things. So there's a trade-off here. We could have 1,000 points in here. And we could absorb the information from the DEM, so we're highly accurate. But then it's taking forever to run.
Which mesh is that?
That's your same mesh that you guys been using. I call it Jenna and Juan's mesh.
Okay.
It's a modified FEMA Region 3 mesh, which is the same you guys been
It's
using.
the high res, not the low res. That we're-
It's our class high res
Yeah.
as of now, yeah, which is still like that. And I meant to post the FEMA mesh, and I will, because I think you guys are ready for that. So if you're feeling good, you can run the FEMA mesh and see what that looks like. That's a 1.8 million nodes. You know, there's this, when the superpowers come, there's the price for it. You know, so 1.8 million node mesh to load it here. That computer probably wouldn't load. So my ArcGIS would have crashed. So, but if you have a good computer, then yes, but everything takes time. So, you know, you click here and you regret it because, ooh, now it has to draw my 1.8 million node mesh. Things are getting much better with the 64-bit and things like that. So it really, really depends where you're using. Yes? Do you guys feel like you can reproduce that? Rebecca, what about you? Can you do this?
In the next week, yeah, but by the time I'm actually working on my project, I don't know. Does that make sense?
No, today. Like if you were to do this, could you?
Sure. in
You
lab,
could.
Yeah,
Okay.
but it's like when I'm trying to integrate my project in a couple weeks, because I'm really far away from doing that, it'll be hard to
remember?
it and be able to work with it.
Well,
yeah.
you can watch his video then.
Okay, yeah, actually, post it, I will. Definitely will.
Others, you guys, yes? No. You got lost?
Where's Arc Storm located? Where do we download that?
On the thing we have, Blackboard.
On Blackboard?
Yeah. I got everything from everything I've done it here. I've done it within this desktop. I didn't